Hello, everyone. Welcome back for more internet retardation with me, Perk60, everyone's favorite internet retard. No, I'm just kidding, but we are here going to be making fun of some retards today, just because. Well, why not? They deserve it. I don't mean people with actual disabilities. We've been over this many times, talking about the freaking retards on the left being retarded, doing retarded things, hurting people, crashing out, lashing out, acting like entitled children. So, yeah, I've been just, mainly, not been a lot in the news recently. I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there, but nothing all too exciting. Let's be real. Nothing that wasn't expected either. Much like I said, we could expect the left to begin crashing out because now none of their talking points hold any merit. So all they've got left is to be violent, act violent, do violence, and that's what we all know to expect from the left. So, expect the usual battery of that person's fascist, Nazi, blah, blah, racist, the whole slew of fucking keywords and talking points. So that way they can dehumanize people, and then, being the spineless cowards they are, they'll sit back and hope that one of their deranged followers acts on their baseless accusations, and then they'll Pikachu face and pretend they had nothing to do with it. And this is just the way the game's being played right now, everybody. That's why I recommend you arm yourselves, and you take care of your own security. You don't rely on somebody else maybe getting there in time. You do yourself a favor. Get a firearm, get trained, get a license to carry it, and hopefully you'll never need it. That's what we all hope, that we'll never need it. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The basic shit everybody hears over and over and over again, and I'm sure we're all just exhausted by. But it's the reality, simple as that. We're just gonna skim through the news here a little bit, do a little bit of a skim. So you got this idiot, Joshua something dumb as fuck. Clearly a rational person. Why does his head look misshapen? That's, I guess, not a really
Did you know
relevant
you can
question.
pet me? Check out the pet cafe.
Pando, can other people hear you, or am I only hearing you now? You've been broken lately, my guy. Keep that queued up and watch for it next time you speak. Yeah. So the left being dumb, ICE is fascist. Immigration is fascism. Laws are fascism, unless they're the laws that we want that restrict you guys from doing something that doesn't harm anybody. No, those laws, those are fine. But any laws that restrict the left is apparently fascism. So, yeah, fascism. Well, gee, what does that lead to? It leads to idiots like this guy. This guy right here. Fortunately, that's the guy who was killed by the leftist idiot. Which, I mean, that sucks for him. Like, he was already getting deported. Like, he didn't need to get killed. Like, nobody wants to see these people harmed or killed. They just need to go back to their country. But that's not how the left operates. The left operates on violence. They're a death cult. So from what I've seen out of it or heard and whatever, there's not really a lot to this particular article. But it's Florida's anti-immigration law. Nobody cares about that. Long and short, a retard leftist with a gun was, I guess, camping an ICE agency, and he saw an ICE van pull in, and I guess in his brilliant mind, the ICE van meant it's full of ICE agents, fish in a barrel. I mean, I guess to some extent he was kind of right. There were fish in that barrel, but not the kind he wanted. So being a deranged idiot, thinking he knew some shit, when clearly he don't know fuck about shit, don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, wouldn't know a dick if it was in his mouth kind of thing, just dumb. Like couldn't spell dumb if you paid him to. In his infinite wisdom, decided inside of that van had to be full of ICE agents,
Incoming
and
ad
he
break.
opened fire on the van, striking illegal immigrants who were being deported. Which again, that's horrible. Just because these people are criminal and need to go back to their country does not mean like they need to be armed or shot by leftist idiots. I mean, nobody deserves that. No, nobody deserves to be shot by a shrieking leftist retard. That's why I and many other people on the right are now advocating for swift, legal, defensive violence against the left anytime they turn up and try to be aggressive. And, you can only do so much when you're working on a reactionary stance, but that's the way it has to be. That's how legal violence works. So stay defensive, y'all. But yeah, these people are dumb. That's kind of my point. They're gonna call you fascist anytime you disagree with them. That's literally just them telling you that they want their people to hurt you. That's literally what it's become. They'll label you fascist so that the deranged people further down the chain from them will react violently and harm you. Really, not a lot else to it. I mean, just go look around. I know many people aren't big fans of looking around and thinking for themselves. And I mean, what else is it? Greedo, they're retard leftists with a gun. Like they just kind of prove it time and time again. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Not all people with left-leaning ideologies are retarded, but a lot of them are. And all of the retarded leftists are violent. It just seems to be their doctrine. Yeah. What else can be said? You've got the summer of love. Like even the politicians are fucking retarded. The summer of love. $2 billion in damage. I'm sorry. What part of that is love? I don't understand what part of that is love. I know I've never done $2 billion worth of damage because I loved something. So like, yeah, the ideology of the left is categorically just fucking roasted, bro. They're I wouldn't even say cooked. Like cooked implies it to at least a reasonable degree. Like these people they're burnt, bro. Their brains are fried. They're just like entitled dopamine junkies. I don't know. The fact that this is the point that this country's gotten to is like low key kind of amazing. But like, I don't know, man. Trump gave him the derangement. They just fucking fully off the handle, bro. No rationale is left. They're just fucking flailing in the void. Like, people on the right tried to be rational and
Welcome
engage
Kiki
them with
underscore shades
words, and
underscore of underscore fear underscore.
they couldn't engage with words. They lost like every attempt to engage with words. So yeah, now they're lashing out. That's all the left knows how to do, is obfuscate, lie, and then when they get called on it and can't misdirect, then they get violent, and they're gonna keep getting violent. And like, yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But it's kind of just who these people are. It's what we've allowed them to become by leaving. I mean, honestly, be mad from what I've seen in the in the wake of recent events. A lot of them are now right. Uh, I haven't like fact checked the statistic, but I've seen claims of an increase in registered Republican voters of 4.5 million or something like that. I haven't looked that up. It's just a number I've seen floating. I didn't really care enough to go fact check it, because there's thousands of videos of people out there like, I can no longer be on the left. So, I don't think the number's like precise, but the implication remains pretty much the same. Like, just a lot of people, you know what I mean? A lot of people leaving the left. Is it 4.5 million? I don't know. It could, you could make the argument that of that 4.5 million, not all of them were leftists. Some of them could have just been, people who weren't registered at all, and they just turned 18 last year, or, earlier this year, and now they are registering. So there's not solid enough data to be like, oh, yep, it's just 4.5 million leftists switching sides. Like, I figure that's a lot of people that were on the fence, in the middle, independent type things, and now they kind of only have one choice, which is like fucked in and of itself, because like, we're supposed to have choices, and debates what's supposed to be the thing that, like, gets stuff moving, gets things to the middle ground, makes everybody happy, irons it all out decently ish. But like, we've lost a half of the balance. One half of the balance has gone so far wildly insane that pretty much the majority of people are just going to do what the other side says now, because, well, at least they're not completely fucking deranged, which is not a good thing. Like, there's supposed to be balance. So now everyone's carrying on about fascism. They're going to boy who cried wolf that word into the ground to the point that nobody fucking cares. And then we're going to get an actual fascist, because, like, that's just how that's going to happen. They're going to scream this word repeatedly till it means nothing. And then when an actual fascist does turn up, nobody's going to remember what the fuck fascism is, because fascism has been perpetually turned into anything that is counter to the insane left ideology. So, like, I don't know. It's dumb. They're dumb. While the pendulum may be swinging in what I would consider favorable directions, it's almost certainly gonna overswing into unfavorables, and that's just because, well, they've increased the swing of it so dramatically that, like, the normalization is just going to, like, backswing heavily, and like, I don't agree with it, but like, it's just the way societies function, the way they flow, the rhythm of humanity. Like, the shit swings back and forth, and I don't know. In my opinion, I would say the left has swung it so dramatically that, yeah, the backswing as it returns past center and to the right is going to more than likely go insanely dramatically right. And, you know, they're crying about fascism now. Like, I guess that's what I'm getting at. They're crying fascism now when things are arguably maybe almost back towards centrist. And they're going to burn everybody out on that word fascism. And then when the pendulum finally does like precipice on the right side of the aisle, which would be it is basically almost like arguably almost guaranteed to swing to a authoritarian fascist like place because, well, there's no balance. We have no balance. The left is no longer a balance. They've gone completely off the scale, which is going to leave the right to run entirely unchecked. And I think there needs to be less government, which, to be fair, though,
Nice to meet you.
one could
I'm Trash
argue
Wolf.
that, like, that's kind of what Trump is doing, is shrinking the government. But, like, you know, we've all seen how the Democrats operate. He could shrink the government to 5 people. And you could put a Democrat in there, and by the end of the week, 87,000 new people would have jobs getting paid government money to, like, sit on their boss's lap and fucking cry about their feelings and their lack of a safe space. So like, just because he shrinks it doesn't somehow like lock that in. You know what I mean? Like, but one could argue that the Democrats have lost the plot so dramatically at this point that, like, the midterms probably gonna go mostly, if not like all red, and then they're gonna really have a locked in power structure. And that's why the Democrats are freaking out so heavily. Is Trump basically has the majority of the big branches and stuff, and if if they do good through the first 2 years of their presidency, that encourages people to their side's policies and politics, and then the midterms usually will go in their favor, which I don't think has like ever happened for Republicans because they're usually just kind of disingenuous shitbags. And I don't know. I mean, I guess that's not fair. Maybe I'm just saying that because they've been trying for a long time to play nice with the people on the left and actually like treat things like the country's meant to be done. And, you know, they've been going up against irate ideological morons who won't give on anything and abuse the system to the absolute max. And I'm sure there's Republicans who also abuse the system to the max. Like, let's be real. Like, they're not fucking immune. So, like, judge your politicians on their policies. If they're shitbags, vote them out. Pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, a lot of the shitbags come from states like California, where shitbaggery is at the maximum level across even the public population. They're all shitbags. That's why I left California. Fuck that. Shitty people, shitty place. Sure, there's always something to do. Like, that's how those places work. There's always a distraction. There's always something you can use to draw your mind's focus away from the squalor and disgusting fucking rot that is California. Lots of distractions. Because goddamn, if you didn't keep yourself distracted, you damn near want to kill yourself. Place is a shithole. But that's just what we're working with here. You know, you've got idiots out there shooting fucking ICE facilities and all their public just hatred. They're just disgusting fucking people. Like, I'm at a loss for words. And I usually have a decent amount of words. I'm not going to say I'm not Kanye West. I'm not a lyrical wordsmith, master of a generation, or whatever the fuck he said. But like, I'm usually pretty good at like conveying the point I'm trying to make with words. And bruh, these people are like beyond fucking rationale. It it's a physical challenge to even like talk about the shit they do, their ideology, and any inference to be found therein, because they're just fucking wildly all over the board. Like, while two of them may espouse the exact same things, the reason they think those things are wildly different and totally counterintuitive to each other, and if either one of them knew that the other agreed with them but for a different reason, they would want that person dead. And that's why these people are ideologically fucked, is because their whole belief structure essentially glorifies it. These are the same people who like celebrate Luigi Mangione. It's just dumb. Like, these are fucking dumb people. And God, what's that paradox called? Paradox where dumb people think they're smart. Oh, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. That's what it is. Yeah, these people are like just fully slathered in the Dunning-Kruger effect. They think they are fucking brilliant, and God, they could not be any stupid. These are it's just I can't. I can't. I fucking can't, bro. These people are fried. That's what I mean. Like, they're not even cooked. They're fucking fried. Like, it's not even well done. Like, they are a charcoal briquette. They have the mental capacity of a charcoal briquette. Their electric meatball was over microwave. It's now a hard, crusty, shriveled briquette, bro. These people are just like raw ideological rot. Oh, yeah, I heard Jimmy Kimmel's rating were absolute dog shit. I heard he got 6.3 million viewers. That's okay. All the left's got to go prop up their Tuesday night was 6.3. By Thursday, it had dumped by 64%. That's wild, bro. How you drop nearly 70% in 2 days? Well, I mean, let's be real. We know how, because the dude's not funny and he's a fucking spineless shill grifter. And people are kind of tired of the shilling and the grifting, and it just is what it is. Like, the market speaks for itself. The fucked up part, though, is that the idiot's on like public TV, so the retards on the left could support this moron without ever actually subjecting themselves to the suffering that is watching his show.
Incoming ad break.
By just like leaving their TV on, turning the volume off, and fucking walking away. And realistically, because it's on like broadcast TV, cable, whatever, you could pretty much just set it to that channel. Like, set your cable box or satellite, whatever bullshit thing, set your device to that channel, and then just input flip over to like your streaming device and fucking stream something amusing and totally artificially inflate those viewer numbers. So that's sad. That's sad, in my opinion, that the people on the left, the home of view botting and shilling and all that lame spineless, no merit entitled bullshit, couldn't figure out how to fluff Kimmel's numbers for more than 2 days. That's gotta be bad, right? Like, you gotta be just a horrible comedian if you have like a built-in reason for idiots to come watch you, and you manage to hold them for 2 days. 2 days, bro? That's it? That's it. Like, you sucked a dick and showed the world you have no fucking spine, and you got 2 days out of it. Woo! I need to give Miss Ray water. She's becoming irate. Excuse me one moment. Get ready. All right. Sorry about that. Canceled, brought back, and canceled. Fuck, right? I mean, I don't think they canceled him again. Well, I know some of the network, whatever the affiliates were like, you can bring him back, but we're not going to fucking broadcast it. I think it's two of the affiliates were just like, nah. But like, I just mean like on the raw data level, because you know you can argue, oh, the affiliates are suppressing and blah 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 blah. So you know, just in the raw data, he came back Tuesday night, got 6.3 to 6.5, like that says there. I don't know exactly. We're just gonna assume something in the middle. I didn't even watch his non-apology. I don't watch programmed television anymore. It's societal rot. But yeah, my point being, 66.5 million Tuesday. As of Thursday, it was down to 2.3. What was it? I guess today's Monday, huh? We won't have new ratings for the week until after today. But like, bro, a 64% tank in 2 days after like the hype of like, we got him back, we did it. Like, more, you had the whole retard army, like full hype, bro, full hype on the retard army, and in 2 days you tank. Bro, there are like fucking YouTube creators and streamers who stack more than 6.5 million views without a retard hype train, and they do it like daily. It's fucking insane. And this is the left. You know, these people think I don't know, bro. I don't know what these people think. I don't think these people think. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I don't think these people have a functioning brain, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I think we're cooked, y'all. I think we're fucking cooked. I just don't know. Well, it's the like perpetual victim culture, oppressor versus oppressed, Marxist bullshit. But you know, and you just keep in mind these Marxist retards are the ones calling people Nazis and fascists, and but are like to the book socialists, which like, bro, what was the full name for the Nazi party? Because remember, Nazi's the like abbreviation. What was it? National Socialist Workers Party. They took the socialism part very fucking seriously. The modern day right hates socialism. That's a pretty wide gap to bridge. I'm gonna be honest. As far as I'm aware, the right hates like anything socialism ish. We hate social policies, social aids. Like, yeah. About the only one that the right, I would say, agrees with would be like Social Security for the elderly. And that's just because the government fleeces us for fucking tax. So, like, I don't really consider that one so much a social policy. Like, yeah, I get it. It's the government giving you money when you're no longer working and no longer making money and blah, 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 blah. I get that. But see, the reason I don't consider that as a handout is because like they took that money. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. The disabled and elderly should be like taken care of regardless. But the just the elderly side of it, the left loves to go, oh well, Social Security, that those are socialist policies. Yeah, but see, the right's okay with those particular socialist policies because they typically view it as getting their money fucking back because they had to pay into the Social Security system the entire time they had a job. So they were putting money in there. So now when they get to the age to qualify, they're supposed to get their money fucking back. And that's like glossing past all the people who die before 65 or the age at which they can file for their Social Security. Just keep that in mind. Thousands of fucking people die every year. Lots of those people that die are below the national retirement age, which means every penny that they've put into the Social Security system, gone straight to the government. Nobody else can claim that money. It was their Social Security money. So, that person who spent all that time paying in, they're not going to get none of theirs back. So, yeah, no, I don't really see that as like a social aid program. No, because those people put that money in. To be fair, I disagree with taxes like entirely, but that's a totally different topic. Because one could argue there's not actually like laws that explicitly require a person to pay taxes. Corporations, yes, and it all gets really muddled and weird. And I'm sure at some point you would think they've added a law since that was a relevant premise. But I don't know. I disagree with taxes altogether, though. I think they're like a fucked ideology, and I think very much so that tariffs and charges on foreign import, or would it be export? Exported from them, imported to us. Yeah, no, that makes a whole lot more sense because that's how this country worked before we had a tax system where people were taxed. It worked fine. We were the most wealthy country in the world, and it built the base that gave us the foundation to take off like we did. All these weird international sweetheart deals and unbalanced trade, Absolutely retarded. Why is it retarded? Well, America's 25% of the global economy. We are one of every $4 spent at any given time. Kind of tells you what you need to know right there. You could stack up the entire rest of the world, and they're about 3 times what we spend. So yeah, no. You put tariffs on these companies, they're not just going to be like, oh, well, fuck Americans. No, trust me, they like money. Companies like money. That's what they do. The American market is too valuable of a market to abandon because China doesn't buy shit. Majority of Chinese people are poor because their country's a communist shithole. You don't have a lot of countries that put out big money in foreign imported items, but America does. Everybody wants a piece of that fucking money. Yeah, so the tariffs are definitely the way to go. Tariffs, balanced trade, because again, they need us more than we need them. We really, in my opinion, we could really do without cheaply made Chinese crap in this country. That's a different pet peeve of mine because I've bought too many car parts that are dog shit right out of the box, and they're always made in China. That's just a personal pet peeve. I have nothing against the Chinese people, and in a lot of cases, they can make some really good stuff. I just can't stand the cheap dog shit made stuff that they also pump out. That shit pisses me off. Take some pride in your fucking work, guys. But yeah, so tariffs are definitely the way. I think we need to get rid of all taxation of the populace of this country. Businesses, that's fine. Businesses should have to pay taxes and all that. That I can agree. But private people should not. You should not be taxed on the income you fucking make. You're already taxed on enough fucking things. On the car you drive, the house you own. Most states, every dollar you spend is taxed. So, like, how the fuck's that fair? Like, oh yeah, you earned this dollar. All right, we taxed it. All right, now you want to spend that dollar? We're taxing it again. Like, Jesus. Like, is there? How much is the tax to just hold the dollar? I'm surprised you ain't got a holding tax. Like, oh, you want to hold that dollar? 30% tax. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, no, the tax system is cooked. Anyone who supports the tax system is a fucking retard. Anyone who's against tariffs, I'm sorry, but you're a leftist fucking retard and you don't understand economics. And everyone's, oh, well, their companies are just gonna pass that cost on to the buyer. Yeah, that's what they're gonna try to do. Now here's the thing: when the $90,000 Toyota is now a $140,000 Toyota, people aren't
Nice
going to buy
meet
it.
You. I'm Trash Wolf.
Man, who'd have thought? So then people aren't going to buy it, which means they're not going to make their money. So yeah, they can try and pass it on to the consumer, and the consumers who are okay with it will eat that cost and they'll be okay with it. But majority of consumers will look at it and go, why would I pay $140,000 for a $90,000 value item? No, I'll just go buy something else in the 90,000 range and be content with that. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. The hit comes out of their bottom line no matter what. They can pass the expense on to the customers, but then that'll result in less sales. And less sales is a hit to their bottom line either way. So it just is what it is. It's the cost of doing business. You got to pay to play. And the smart ones will do what they're doing. They'll come into the country. They'll start factories here and they'll create jobs in America, and hopefully they'll do better than Kia did under Biden, who gave them a fuck ton of money to make a factory here, and they proceeded to just smuggle in a bunch of Korean illegal immigrants to pay them illegally low wages in the factory. Yeah, that probably shouldn't be happening. You should probably have some oversight that if they put a factory up, maybe instead of hiring, what was it, 87,000 IRS agents, maybe you should have hired 87,000 OSHA agents to, just like bebop around the country and pop in on these factories at random and be like, hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Can we see your books and stuff real quick? Maybe just maybe not the books, but like let's see your employee records. Make sure they're all legal citizens. Or I guess they could have been ICE agents, but then the left would just freak out and cry more. So like you'd be better off just having it be OSHA. I'd be fine with it being ICE. So fuck it. If they're here illegally, they have no business being here. And if the company was given a bunch of money to build a fucking plant here and then squeezed the money and brought in a bunch of illegals, they should have to pay back all of that money plus some extra, just like any normal person has to do when dealing with the fucking US government. Like, fuck, yo, you're on unemployment. You got paid a week that you weren't supposed to get paid. You owe all that money back, and you owe a fine. That's how that works. So if they were given a bunch of money to build a factory and then they brought in a bunch, under the guise of that creating American jobs, then they brought in a bunch of illegal immigrants, well, then that money they were given, you fine them that. They now owe you that money back. And then on top of it, you add a penalty fee. Make it a nice healthy percentage too, something like 15 or 20. Make it really fucking hurt. Make an example out of them, and then other companies won't do it. My God, I've forgotten how to spell. Yeah. All right. It's that. 500 people detained. God, I hate Reuters, but I'm more interested in what the whole spiel was because I was hearing something about fuck you, I'm not watching your ads. But yeah, as I was aware, Biden, this, no. Of course not, AI. I'm not trying to imply that Biden like directly gave them money to fucking employ illegal. God, you're so. People are afraid that AI is going to take over something. Fucking stupid. No, I don't know if they were funded with taxpayer dollars. That I can't. I've heard claims of it though. The claims seem to be that they were given grant money to build the factory to create jobs in Georgia, and they took the money, built the factory, and then smuggled in a bunch of people to work illegally. I can't really confirm nor deny, and well, we're on Google, so like, let's be real. Tracking it down is going to be an absolute shit show because they run active interference. But yeah, no, fuck it, ship them out. And the left will keep acting up. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep being violent. They're still calling for it. They're calling for Stephen Miller to be fucking killed now. They hate the bald man because he's spicy, and he is a feisty, feisty bald man. Of course, this is what I mean. The active interference suddenly filtered down to a whole sparse little selection and such. But yeah, no, they hate Stephen Miller, and he is just so amusing.
Build a website you love with Wix.
How about you go fuck yourself
For your words.
and die?
There is an entire system of
This
freedom
man.
organizations that
They
provide
hate
money,
this man.
resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece.
That man. The left hate that man. I might argue they hate him more than Trump. They absolutely cannot stand Stephen Miller, which is funny because I think he's fucking great. He gets into arguments with the retards and he just like tears them apart. Always a good time listening to him go ham. What? I don't follow him? Well, I do fucking now. Oh shit. Good. That's shit that needs to happen. Fucking illegals have no business voting in this fucking country. Citizenship should be absolutely mandated to be proven. That's why voter ID laws should be a fucking thing. But the left is against that because remember, like they said, and I quote, black people don't know how to get an ID. They don't know how to get to the DMV and get identification. They don't even know what a computer is. I may be paraphrasing that a little bit. It's been a long time since I've mocked that particular quote. But that's what the Democrats think of black Americans. They think they're retards who aren't smart enough to use a computer or go down to the DMV and get identification. Which, like, I mean, that just seems counterintuitive to me because, like, well, if you ain't got an ID, how you getting into club? How you gonna pop bottles? You know what I mean? Like, all that shit. All that celebrated propped up bullshit. All of it is things that require a motherfucking ID. Does what make our I mean, no. Well, I don't know. I don't know what your ancestors were. But like my ancestors well, they helped found this republic in which we live. Their descendants were Union soldiers. So like, no, I don't think anyone in my family, other than maybe like the odd retard here and there, have ever been Democrat. Phone, why are you exploding? Oh yeah, this is the current target of the fascist Nazi. They're big mad at him because he just comes to the mic hot, and ready to go. Man's like Little Caesars. He is always hot and ready. And like, bro just spits facts on people, and then they like fucking crumble and try to obfuscate, and he don't play that shit. No obfuscation allowed with Stephen Miller. That man cuts straight to the bone.
You may assert there's no waste to the Pentagon.
Nikki, that's because the left they have a perpetually moving goalpost. Unless you agree with them on 100% of everything they ideologically believe, at some point or another, you're going to be on the "it's okay to kill this person" side of the goalpost. That's how they work. You know, right now it's just not the fascist whatever to the most prevalently maligned to their belief, but they will forever have somebody to disagree with, and those people will forever, in their mind, their wording, and the ideology of the people who follow them, will be valid targets. That's what they're creating. That's why they call people fascist, because it's not okay to hurt normal people, but when it's a fascist under their ideology, totally fine. Completely justifiable. Even if that person's never done anything fascist in their life, all they need is that label. That's why they cling to it. That is what they use to dehumanize people so they can then justify harming those people. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. They love to stomp on the grave of Melissa Hortman, who was the Democrat lady who was murdered by a crazed Democrat. And they love to swear that he was a MAGA Republican registered voter. The man was appointed I forget what the position was, but he was literally appointed to his position by a Democrat. He was then allowed to maintain his position when the next Democrat, Governor Tim Walz, was in power of that state. Tim Walz allowed him to maintain his position. So you're going to tell me a Democrat appointed a Republican, and then Tim Walz, the next Democrat who came into that office, let that Republican stay on the cabinet? The Democrats never appoint Republicans. Who the fuck do they think they're fooling? The man was a leftist. He worked under the Democrat. And yeah, he went off the rocker because the Hortman lady voted pro-life. So even though she was a leftist, a Democrat, a fighter of the fight, she disagreed on one ideological precept. That's all he needed. That's all it took. All the rest of the what do they fucking call it? Not advocate, ally. all the rest of the things upon which she was an ally through and through, nah, fuck all that. None of that matters. She disagrees on one thing: violence. That's how they work. You toe the line, or they'll be violent. And that's what we're seeing now, because everybody's done playing the words game, because they only resort to violence then too. So why would you entertain them with words when you know they're just going to lose because they're illogical retards and disingenuous debaters? So they're going to lose with words, which is only going to make them more irate, and then they're going to go be violent. And it's just what these people do. And now they want this man dead, which that's insanity. The man's doing his job that he was appointed to do, and he's good with his words. So they can't beat him with words. They can't call him a racist. They can't call him a bigot. They can't smear him. So they want him dead. It's just what it is. And that's what people need to realize, that that's what the left is. Oh, yeah, the Democrats make fucking outright schizophrenics look fucking tame. Like, the fuck? I mean, fuck. Look, they come out and say fucking, there are studies that seem to show there may be a connection between Tylenol and autism in your children. And what do the Democrats do? Bunch of the pregnant women all go out and just like OD on fucking Tylenol. Bro. Yeah, these people are mentally unwell. Miss Ray, you're wet and on all my pillows. Ray. What am I gonna do, you big fluff? Yeah, here we go. And it's not just like, little retards on the left. This is the governor of California's fucking press office. This is their idiot base celebrating it, because they know, look at that smug shit-eating look on his fucking face. He knows that this is a call to the other retards to commit violent acts. Stephen Miller, knows this is a call to the retards to commit violent acts. They have no evidence, no basis, nothing upon which to build an argument that this man is a fascist. No. I don't think these people even know what fascism fucking is. But they'll scream it. They'll scream it over and over again, and this fucking retard here, he'll celebrate it. Yeah, oh, so fucking based, guys. This is the way. They're sick. These people are fucking sick. They want to spread violence. That's all they want to do. And I heard a really interesting argument recently. They're not against racism. They just want to be in control of how racism's applied. They're not against authoritarianism. They just want to control who authoritarianism oppresses. They're not against violence. They just want to control who the violence is aimed at. Drink every time I say the R word. Oh God, we'd all die. We would all die of alcohol poisoning, because I call everyone a retard. I call myself a retard. I'm pretty sure my fucking Twitch description says like regularly scheduled internet retardation. So like I know I ain't some fucking super genius, like, but these people are fucking retard. And like, I don't mean that in like a derogatory sense towards people with actual disabilities. Nah. Mad respect for all the people with disabilities, bro. You guys are playing life on hard, and you're doing better than those of us playing on easy. I have nothing but respect for them. But these retards, like fucking Don Lemon, fucking just insane. You're I mean, I feel like we all should be, just because, well, like, just look around. Who the fuck wants to be sober for this shit show? But yeah, no, they hate Stephen Miller because he brings logic, and they're like, bro, it's their kryptonite. Logic and rational thought is the kryptonite of the left. And like they don't even I don't know, bro. They're blind. It's like watching blind people try to describe what something looked like. Pando is a snarky little bastard. But I can hear him again today. I don't know why. I don't know what changed. I had accepted the fact that I could not hear him, and no amount of messing with anything seemed to make a difference. So I gave up. And then today, boom, Pando, words. I could hear him. And I was really annoyed. I'm going to be honest, because I spent like 2 or 3 hours like flipping settings around and running fucking tests, and no idea. No idea. But now it works again. So that's good. Because Pando's awesome. I love that he talks shit to me. Pando's just a verbally spicy raccoon. He couldn't be a Democrat. Democrats are all like against insulting anybody or anything unless it's labeling them fascist so that they can like hurt them. Because remember now, as the left says, words are literal violence or some fucking stupid shit. I don't know. I don't have the ability to retain the stupid shit that fucking leftists say. I just can't hold on to it. It's too slimy. There's too much of someone else's nut leaking out of their mouth while they say it for it to be clear and retainable. But on a side note, the right's also gotten really weird. There's like this strange deviation of like pro the Jews, anti the Jews, which, to be fair, it's the right. Kind of always been a bit of the anti-Semitisms on the right, and it is what it is. These people are kind of retarded. You just got to call them out for being retards. Cause like the long and short, I don't really give a fuck either way. This whole pro-Palestine fucking, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I grew up in the like post September 11th. I remember where the general consensus was nuke them till they glow and shoot them in the dark. And people are violent assholes, rapists. Their culture is dog shit. They're dog shit people. In my opinion, the Jews have every right to do whatever the fuck they want because they're a sovereign fucking country. I don't really think we should be paying for it. But at the same time, these countries all hate us too. So, like, the enemy of my enemy type of thing. Because, yeah, in my opinion, especially like the Iran situation, you want to sit around chanting death to America. Like, that's all well and good. But then you can't get mad when America fucking slapped the taste out of your nuclear enrichment facility. You can cry, oh, the Jews. It was the Jews. Like, I mean, they help. Yeah. And like, let's not fucking sit here and pretend to exist under some guys. Iran's not our fucking friends. Like, we had to clap the cheeks off of Iran's navy in 1988. So, like, yeah, they don't like us. We don't really like them. And they talk a lot of shit. And they wanted nuclear weapons. So, you know, it kind of just is what it is. You want to poke at something and continue to ramp up on a level that's heavily regulated globally, then, like, you know, yeah, you're playing games, you're writing checks, and sooner or later your ass has to cash that shit, and is what it is. As far as Israel fucking with their neighbors and their neighbors fucking with them, that's their fucking business. Quit fucking with people. You know, you can argue, oh, they fuck with them. Everybody fucks with everybody, bro. That's how it works. Like, let's fucking drop the pretentious fucking nonsense. It's just how it works. Sides fuck with each other. They push boundaries. It's just what they do. It's what they're gonna keep doing. Sooner or later, someone gets pissed off. Violence happens. Wow. The rhythm of society. Like, what? I'm sorry. Why does this, like, shock people? They don't want to talk. Nobody wants to talk. They just want to fucking push each other's buttons. Well, sooner or later, someone gets smacked in the mouth, and it goes to blows. And then someone comes out victorious, and then that's what it is. All I'm seeing is a lot of Muslim nations mad that the Jews with a smaller population and a smaller chunk of land are doing better than them overall and doing better enough that they can clap fucking cheeks, and all Iran can do is, like, wildly yeet missiles at them. Like, yeah, it just kind of is what it is. Blood must have blood. I mean, realistically, Kiki, it's just human nature. People fuck with each other and they don't want to talk. Nobody wants to talk and come to an agreement, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know. One and or both sides have zero interest in fucking actually, like, coming to an agreement and coexisting. Well, then fucking hash it the fuck out. Like, get it over with. I'm done. I'm tired of hearing about it. Just fucking hash it out. Iran, you think you're so tough, then go invade Israel. Israel, you're clapping the shit out of Iran, so, like, you're doing fine, and there's probably nothing in Iran that anybody wants, so, like, you know. I mean, that's not true at all. Religion and Jesus has very little to do with it. Iran is a shitbag nation full of aggressors. Most of those countries are full of fucking aggressors. And let's be real, Islam is a fucking death cult full of psychotic retards who think that molesting children is okay, because if they say that molesting children isn't okay, then their Quran, in which it says their ever so perfect fucking prophet Muhammad married Aisha at 6 years old and consummated their marriage at 9 years old. Ooh, that sounds like fucking pedophilia to me. These countries, I think Pakistan it was, just legalized marriage for girls as young as 8 years old. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's just a inferior fucking culture. It's really just that simple. And people, oh, that's horrible. It's Islamophobic. No, from a moral standpoint, it's literally just an inferior culture, and that can hurt whoever's feelings wants to get hurt about it. But I'm sorry, I don't consider a culture that permits the molestation of children as equivocal to any Western culture. Western cultures don't permit it. Does it happen? Yeah, it does, and it's heinous. And those people are ostracized and sent to prison, where they're usually pretty promptly worked over and most times killed by other prisoners. So yeah, you can't really argue that Western society supports stuff like that. Well, the religion of Islam does. Like in their religious text does. And if they want to be a good Muslim, they have to respect every word of that text and respect the text's claim that Muhammad was the perfect example of a human. This is a man who married and had sex with a child. I'm sorry, that's an inferior culture. Fucking fight me about it. It doesn't matter. You're talking about a culture that can't control its own sexual urges, so it's a crime committed by the female that the man couldn't control himself because he saw her like earlobe or whatever the dumb fuck. You see what I mean? Like, Islam is essentially Democrat ideology if it was allowed to become a religion. Just insane, entitled, violent bullshit with no moral. It's completely immoral. So yeah, no, in my opinion, the Muslim countries can get fucked. They wanted to fuck with Israel. Israel's gonna fuck back. That's just how it goes. Iran wanted to fuck with America. America's gonna fuck back, just like we did in 1988 when they put fucking naval mines in international waters and hit one of our boats. Yeah, no, it is what it is. Iran doesn't stand a chance. They like to talk a big game and whatever, but they really are. They could not be less relevant, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Because much like in 1988, America slapped the shit out of them so hard in like 13 hours that we damn near found ourselves under fucking like UN sanctions about it. I mean, people on an individual level, sure, I'd argue lots of people who claim they're Christian or Catholic are just shitty people, and shitty people are just shitty people. But nowhere in Christianity or Catholicism does anything advocate for the shitty actions that those people commit, whereas Islam does. Islam basically condones all of the shitty actions that Muslim people commit, all of the heinous violence, all of the rape, all of it. It's all like by the word condoned and encouraged in the Quran and the other religious texts of Islam. So yeah, you can kind of drop the both sides bullshit, Kiki. Them days are dead. We call things as they are nowadays. Sorry, no, Islam is inferior. They are inferior people. It just is what it is. I mean, as people biologically, yeah, no, they're fine. But the belief of their society is inferior. They're an inferior culture through and through. And no amount of argument to the contrary will convince me, because again, you're talking about people whose religion and culture advocates for the taking of slaves, the raping of slaves, the raping of children. I mean, sorry, it is what it is. No, I'm not. Where does Christianity or Catholicism advocate for any of the shitty things that shitty Christians and shitty Catholics do? You can't really like just take a person's actions and ascribe it to something they believe in when the thing they believe in nowhere advocates for it. You get what I mean? Like the left loves to say anybody on the right, that's all fascism, Nazism. But yet, nobody on the right advocates for fascism. Nobody on the right advocates for Nazism. You may have some really retarded people that advocate for it and claim that they are of the right, but the majority of the right disavows those people and calls them out for what they are, which is ideological grifters trying to attach themselves to a more rational sounding ideology because their ideology is deranged dog shit. But yeah, please enlighten me as to where in anything to do with Christianity or Catholicism does it advocate for the horrible things that shitty Christians and shitty Catholics do. Because it doesn't. You could make a really broad spectrum argument that it in some way advocates for it under the guise that the Bible says that everybody commits sin and sin is forgiven and we're all, whatever, inherently inclined to commit sin and blah, blah, blah. But see, I would argue that that's realistically like cherry picking the Bible to fit your own narrative, where, like, yes, the Bible says that people sin and all of that, but you should also live a life in a manner that is as God laid out. Within that laid out lifestyle, you will not find advocation for the shitty things that modern shitty Christians and Catholics do. Like, nowhere in Christianity does or Catholicism does it advocate for the molestation of children. Yeah, a lot of shitty Catholics have done that 100%. And you could argue that the church itself is heavily flawed and arguably even complicit in that they kind of just shuffle these people around and keep it hush hush and all of that. And again, I would argue that's shitty people because the Bible doesn't say to do that. Nowhere in the Bible does it say it's okay for an archbishop to molest children and then instead of being excommunicated and ostracized from the church, that instead the church should just, move them to a different town where they don't know what that person did. You see what I mean? Like, Islam advocates for violence. It advocates for rape. It advocates for the molestation of children. Christianity does not. Christianity does not advocate that priests should be able to molest children. Christianity does not advocate that that should be kept secret and they should be just shuffled around to mask the heinous things they've done. So yeah, no, we're arguing different things. I'll agree with you. There are millions of shitty people who call themselves Christian and call themselves Catholic and have no understanding of what that actually means, and they do not live to the standards of what they claim to live to. I'll agree with that completely. But that isn't a reflection of Christianity or Catholicism. That's just a shitty person. Shitty people latch onto things all the time. So you can't really judge something like Christianity because some people who follow it do horrible things. You can judge Christianity on what it advocates and more or less condones and things of that nature. Which I invite anybody to show me part of the Christian Bible or Catholic faith that says, like, explicitly within the religion said that the things they've done is okay. Not that the Lord loves them regardless and will forgive them for it, because that is the whole premise of Christianity, is that you are forgiven for your sins, and so long as you accept Jesus Christ as your Savior and ask for forgiveness for your sins, then you will be afforded forgiveness. Those are the tenets of Christianity. Just because the tenet is forgiveness and asking for forgiveness and that forgiveness will be granted doesn't mean that horrible actions were advocated. It just means that the religion, the Lord loves you regardless and will forgive you if you seek said forgiveness, because the Lord is a benevolent and merciful Lord, according to the establishment within Christianity. Which Christianity was diverting from the earlier premises of, like, the Torah, I believe, the Old Testament, in which one's access to heaven was based on works and accomplishments in the name of God and things like that. You had to earn your way into heaven. Jesus' sacrifice alleviated that, because originally we were all stricken with original sin, and it was through works in the name of the Lord that we atone for that original sin. Jesus, as per the layout of the Bible, Jesus was the Lord in human form who sacrificed himself for all of our sins. So all sins to ever be committed, he sacrificed his life for. We are not immediately forgiven of our sins. No, it still falls upon us to seek the Lord, ask for forgiveness, and truly within ourselves humbly seek the guidance and forgiveness of the Lord for the sins we have committed. Just because lots of people wear Christianity as a label does not mean they ascribe to the teachings of the Lord. Very much that one could argue lots of people of the Islamic label aren't truly good Muslims because they disagree with the molestation of children. Because there are a lot of people of Muslim and Islamic faith who don't ascribe to the Quran absolutely to the T. They have their own morality and they make their own decisions and they disagree with parts of it. Well, according to the Quran, they're horrible Muslims and they should be killed. I don't agree with that. I believe people should be able to make their own decisions and, form their own morality within, a certain extent. Obviously, if your formed morality says that you can label anyone a fascist and then it's okay to harm them, then you're a morally flawed individual. That's an entirely different topic.
Nice to meet you. I'm Trash Wolf.
But again, by all means, tell me where in Christianity that these horrible things are advocated for. Some sort of evidence that supports the horrible actions of the Christians you are referring to is in fact related to them living by the word of Christianity. Because again, lots of people can say there are lots of things. I mean, I can go down to the local college and find you someone with a fucking big hanging dick who swears that they're a female foxbat. So just because somebody puts a label on themselves doesn't make them that thing. The content of their action actually will tell you a lot more about what they actually are, as opposed to the label they put on themselves. You get what I mean? I get it. There people have all these historical references. Oh, well, fucking Christianity did all of this and that. And yeah, those were actions committed by those people. One could argue those are counter to the guidance laid out in the religion itself. But, then that comes down to an individual assessment of each individual thing, because, Okay, well, where do you draw the line? Like, okay, well, what about violence? Like, well, arguably the Crusades were biblically sanctioned violence because Islam was seeking to oppress and destroy Christianity, and the Bible does advocate for defense of yourself and defense of the word of God. So you could argue that that violence is religiously sanctioned violence. And honestly, I wouldn't even consider that violence. What you do to defend yourself is you do what you have to do. If someone's seeking to invade you and eliminate you, absolutely, you should meet them head to head. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. So I guess we could brush the Crusades off. Another good, I guess, example would be when the church turned on the Knights Templar. The church turned on its own out of greed and lust for money, and worked shadily with a king to undermine its own, like undermine pieces of itself, so that the king and the church could both suck up money. Yeah, that's pretty shitty. But again, those are the actions of individual people. There's nowhere in the Bible that says, build up portions of the church, and then when you lust for the money that they've attained, debase them with the power of a king and then split the takings. I don't think that's in the Bible anywhere. I mean, I haven't read it in a long time. It's been a hot minute, but I don't remember that verse. Maybe somebody could refresh my memory. Anybody got that verse on hand? Where's the verse about building up sections of the church so you can then lust for their money and use violence to take it from them? I'm pretty sure that's not in there. Just gonna make a guess. Didn't call it an educated guess, because I've read a bit of the Bible in my past. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the educated guess of it. It doesn't advocate for that, and nowhere in it does it say that that's okay. So yeah, you could have all the problems you want with people who label themselves Christian and fell woefully short of living up to the word of God. But that doesn't exactly reflect on Christianity itself. That simply reflects on the person. Where again, my whole argument related to Islam is it doesn't necessarily reflect on every person of Islamic faith, but it directly reflects on the religion itself. And the funniest part is it's the shitty Muslims, the shitty, what most Muslims would call the faithless Muslims, the ones thinking for themselves and not de facto thinking molesting children is okay. It's the shitty Muslims that are actually good people. It's the devout Muslims that are shitty people. And I'm sorry, but it is what it is. That is what Islam is. I don't know what you want me to tell you. The book lays it out pretty cut and dry. And I'm not saying I hate Muslim people. I'm just saying that their religion is arguably flawed and inferior. And I'm sure many Muslim people will hate me for that, and that's fine. I don't care. But I don't hate them. I just think that their religion is a bit backwards and fucked up. And that's fine. We're allowed to think things. It's how it works. I wonder, anything cooking off in Portland? I heard we had National Guard arriving up there, but haven't seen anything yet. But that'll probably be fun to watch. Oh, good. The next 60 days. Nice. Antifa militants. Awesome. Scoop them up. Charge them. They're going to be fun. They should just be out there with beanbag shotguns, just fucking holding people. Hit him with the fentanyl fold. Jesus, it took 3 soldiers to carry that pig's out. Wow. That's wild. There's going to be a lot of it. This is for. This is why they should just have beanbag shotguns. Yeah. Rattle off your little firework and then just fucking thwap beanbag right to the fucking face. Wow, you know, for people who talk such a like big game about like, oh, we'll take them, you guys really just like give up like fast as fuck and then proceed to cry like little bitches. Like, is this what the furry fucktard army looks like? Like, oh, they dropped a canister. Oh, everybody back up! I surrender. Like. Fucking retards, bro. Really, Antifa thinks they defeated Portland police. This will be interesting. And this is exactly why the National Guard was called in, because the state governor doesn't allow the police to actually do anything. And these retards think they defeated something. You see, yeah, bring out the beanbag. Not a single American flag. It kind of tells you what you need to know, doesn't it? Tear gas equals miscarriages. Who the fuck goes to a protest while pregnant? Especially a Portland protest. You know it's gonna be violent. These people are fucking retards. Oh my god. And YouTube's gonna love this video. I've said retard enough times that like I'll be amazed if they don't fucking email me about it. Like, sir, you use that word a lot, and it could hurt people's feelings. Oh my god. These people are just fucking the lamest. Yeah, this is what these retards think the military will become after a week in Portland. Like, this is the retardation. Honestly, just give them live weapons. I mean, it'll solve itself. These people are deranged idiots. But, you know, it's nice to see it all cleaning itself up. Oh, here's our retard governor. Oh, it's
Incoming ad break.
It's not a video. I will not be approving the utilization of the Oregon National Guard. President does not have the authority to deploy federal troops on state soil. Actually, yeah, he 100% does in the event that citizens are being put at risk and the state government is failing to do anything about it. Exactly like you are, Miss Kotek. That's why you're gonna see the National Guard in Portland for 60 days. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, just look at that. They're gonna start rounding up your fucking retards. Maybe for once a vote in this state will actually mean something. I doubt it, because the Democrats cheat, but, you know, we can all hope. Yeah, in my opinion, round them all the fuck up. Charge them for the stupid shit they do. Let them spend the next few years in prison. You ain't gonna achieve anything. You literally can't do shit. These people are morons, y'all. Smash fascism, bro. You're about to get smashed. That's for sure. I think they should just send in the Marine Corps. Tell them Antifa has crayons. Crayons? You guys missed. Just a little bit too far left. You can walk that in towards the middle of the face.
Z.
An eye for an eye and all that good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else I can drum up. I mean, it should be pretty fucking obvious that these people are just deranged retards. But this is where we're at. This is what we currently have to deal with. So we're just gonna have to ride it out. And like I tell everybody, arm yourself, train yourself, get yourself permitted. And when these fucking psycho idiots try to do some dumb shit, do what you got to do. Protect yourselves, protect your families, you know, the jam. Yeah, I hope everybody stays safe out there. Avoid leftist shithole cities like Portland and the like. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay safe out there, y'all. And remember, remain fair.